Morning, guys. It is Friday, November 19th. I got a little bit to share with you, so we're going to get right into it. So looking at the market today, this is one of the things I wanted to be able to convey to folks, what we're seeing out there. Now, I'm looking back all the way to 2013. This goes all that far back, this particular chart. And what I'm seeing here is this particular event here, whenever time we broke below this. Yeah, now I'm not precise on the line here, but this is what I'm seeing. Anytime we broke below this area, see, we've hit it, come off of it, hit it, come off of it. I had a hard time getting through it. But once we got through this, and we got through this area and when you look back here, how we got through this before, interestingly enough, had to do with government injection of capital through COVID. I didn't look back and see this before, but for us to get that high, get these rates this low, it took this $1 trillion that came right here to push us above this, right? So now we've been fighting above, we've been above this. Now we're hitting that line. Now we're trying, hopefully we stay above it, but look, bounce. We're probably getting another bounce. We might be playing this bounce a little bit before we finally break below it. When we do, look at how far we fall. When that falls that far, those are interest rates that go up about a point or so, somewhere in that range. So just know this is what we're up against here. And it sounds like we're bouncing off it. This is some strength that we're seeing here technically. But it does worry me for the future of what we're going to see for rates. That's why I keep telling you, right? As far as the rates are concerned, they're not that big a deal, especially with what's going on in inflation. So you've seen the app. I'm going to share with you the app again. If you haven't been to the App Store, and get this, the QJO investment tool, search the App Store. If you click that, find this one, QJO investment tool, get that. I did last week show you the amortization calculator app. Today, we're going to talk about the reserve calculator app, right? So it's going to have a couple different calculators on here. You got asset reserve, cash flow for your scheduling, mortgage amortization, the mortgage amortization schedule, which I showed you last week, and then the subject property reserve. We're going to talk about these two reserve calculators. Now, they got put on opposite ends of the app, but oh well, right? So we're going to start here with the subject property reserve. And that's going to be this app, this one right here, this here, right? So you're going to click on that. Now, put your address. You don't have to put the address, but put whatever address you're buying. Subject property meaning the one you're doing the loan on at the time you're working this over, right? The one you're in contract to purchase. Put the address, whatever the payment's going to be, the principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. That's what this is. If it has an HOA, you're going to add this here. And then you're going to just calculate. That's all you're going to do is click on calculate. Here's what you're going to get. It's going to tell you the property address and the total reserves you need for that property. That's it. Just that property. You're going to write that down. In this situation, since you had a total payment of $1,250 a month for principal, interest, taxes, and insurance, plus the monthly HOA of $35, you calculate. That means you have $7,710 that you have to have in the bank on top of your down payment and your closing costs. This is extra funds there. Now, let's say you have other properties, right? Well, if you have other properties, you want to go to the asset reserve. That means reserves for your other properties. You click on that, type in how many finance properties. Now, this includes your primary residence and the one you're going to buy, right? That's what you can do. All the properties you're going to own that are financed. We're including the one you're going to purchase because that's going to be financed. We count that in there. So in this situation, let's say you have a primary residence, 4 investment properties for a total of 5, and the one you're going to buy, we just talked about, right? The 123 Main Road, that's 6 properties. You'll put that in here, and then you can put the total mortgage balances on the ones you own, right? And this is on investment property balances, not your primary. Just investment properties. So it's $450,000 in this example for the 4 properties you have right now in investment properties you have ownership in. We're not counting the balance on your homeowner, your owner occupied home. Sorry, we're not counting the balance on the one you're buying because we already did that reserve for the one you're buying. So this is just the 4 investment properties that you're holding. You hit calculate, get $18,000 in reserves for that, right? So you're going to take those, you can add those together. Subject property of 7,700. So 6 months of 1,285, you get this number. Additional property reserves, meaning this is your 4 investment properties, not your primary and not the one you're buying. So, and then it's going to figure out the current outstanding balance, the percentage of the outstanding balance it needs based on how many properties you're claiming you have in there as far as finance properties. That's important. You fill that number out. So total reserves needed on top of your down payment, and your closing cost is $25,710. So that's how you're going to use this particular calculator. Go back, watch this several times, be sure you understand it. If you have questions, schedule some time with me, shoot me a message on aaron.chapman.com. You can email me, aaron.chapman@snmc.com. We'll schedule a time to talk it over. I'm trying to give you guys tools to use to make you successful in your business. We'll get back to you on Tuesday. If you need anything from us, let us know. Download the app, get the tools, go to, click the subscribe button down here. I'm going to go through the next app, our next tool, and we're going to continue to keep hitting on these to show you ways to use them as we continue to enhance it. Thanks, you guys, and we'll talk to you on Tuesday.